counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son, you got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, you got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome in to the leadoff show, the last one of the 2025 regular season. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up. All things Brewers Reds ahead of game number 162 on the year. Freddie Peralta on the bump for Milwaukee, going up against Brady Singer of Cincinnati. 2:10 first pitch from American Family Field. Last home game of the year, last regular season. The Brewers have secured the top seed in the National League, in Major League Baseball. DL Hall, Trevor McGill, both reinstated from the 15-day IL. Carlos Rodriguez optioned down to rookie Arizona Complex League. And Eric Fetty designated for assignments.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Thanks again to Lakeland University for being a part of the leadoff show. Experience it your way, lakeland.edu. First up for Cincinnati, TJ Friedl leads things off. He is the center fielder. Novelli Marte in right field will bat second. Gavin Lux in left field will bat third. Miguel Andujar is the DH, batting fourth today. Ellie De La Cruz, the shortstop, will bat fifth. Spencer Steer at first base will bat sixth. Ke'Bryan Hayes at third base bats seventh today. Jose Trevino, the catcher, will bat eighth. Matt McClain at second base rounds things out for the Reds. Now the Brewers' last lineup of the regular season. Christian Yelich is the DH leading it off. Jackson Churio in center field will bat second. Bryce Terang at second base will bat third. Jake Bowers at first base will bat fourth today. Sal Frelick in right field to bat fifth. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat sixth. Isaac Collins in left field batting seventh today. Andrew Monasterio, the shortstop, will bat eighth. Rounding things out for the Crew, catching, batting ninth, Danny Jansen. Well, an interesting lineup again today, as we heard a little bit about this a couple of days ago, that William Contreras is not going to head to any injured lists, obviously, but was going to get some rest. That's why Danny Jansen pokes at the bottom of the order. Christian Yelich has remained in the leadoff spot so far, with Churio and Terang rounding out the top three, and Jake Bowers in the cleanup role against the righty today for Milwaukee. As I said, DL Hall, Trevor McGill, both back on the big league roster. Carlos Rodriguez option back down, and Eric Fetty, kind of a surprise, designated for assignment. The Brewers have the first round bye and home field advantage now throughout the postseason. They will face the winner of the NL wildcard series between Chicago and San Diego next Saturday on October 4th. The Brewers enter the final day of the regular season, having earned at least a share of the best record in the major leagues for the second time in franchise history. Got to go back to 1982, the last time Milwaukee did that. They need one more win to break a franchise record of 96 wins in a season. Both did that in 2011 and 2018. And the Brewers look to avoid being swept by a National League team for the first time since the Philadelphia Phillies back in June of 2024. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Yesterday, Milwaukee's offense showing up a little bit, but the big inning, ultimately their Achilles heel yesterday. Let's go over it on the rewind.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Robert Gasser, the opener for Milwaukee in the game yesterday. Got through the first 2 innings, no problem. Inning number 3, that's when he started to crumble. After he gave up a run because of a Sal Stewart single, Jacob Mizorowski came in with the bases loaded, a swinging bunt, then a walk, and then another single. All of a sudden, it was 6-0 in the 3rd inning. Everyone kind of knew it was over from there. However, the Brewers wouldn't give up quite that easy in the bottom part of the 3rd after getting a run to come across thanks to a grounder from Christian Yelich. Bryce Terang trying to stay hot at the plate.
First pitch swinging, it's Terang, the left field, pretty deep. Steer going back into the corner, and he can't come up with it. That's a fair ball. Ortiz scores.
That would make it 6-2. Highlights courtesy of Fox. Little national television action for Milwaukee yesterday. Ultimately, only one more big hit in the contest. It was 7-3 after another run comes across for Cincinnati in the 6th. Bottom part, 21st homer for Jackson Chourio.
There's a drive to center field from Chourio. Pretty deep. Friedel going back. Track. Wall. Gone! Jackson Chourio answers. A solo homer to bring the deficit back to 4.
7-4, the final. The Brewers would fall in the penultimate game of the season. Jackson Chourio 1 for 5, 21st homer of the year in the 6th inning. It's his first home run since the 10th of September back in Texas. They got swept in that series as well, too. Isaac Collins had a hit in the contest yesterday. He was 0 for his last 20. Got a single in the 8th inning. First hit since 9/12. Yeah, that's right. It's been over 2 weeks since you saw Isaac Collins with a hit. Danny Jansen staying hot. He was 1 for 3. Has now got a hit in 6 of his last 9 games back, all the way to the 7th of September. Over that 9-game span, Jansen rocking a 1.014 OPS, a 320 batting average. And Jacob Mizorowski, kind of a story of yesterday. 2 1/3 in relief. First time he's made a relief appearance in his major league career. First appearance out of the bullpen since the 5th of April with AAA. His final line, 2 innings of work, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Despite the loss, the Brewers clinched home field advantage throughout the postseason thanks to the Phillies' loss to the Minnesota Twins. Now it's time to see if Milwaukee in the final game of the season can break the record for most victories in a Brewers season. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you. After the game was over, a couple of pitchers speaking to the media. Coming up later on in the program, we will hear from Pat Murphy earlier today. We have Drew Wagner joining the show in about a half hour or so. No Austin Herdina on a Sunday. Gets pretty busy over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook with a full slate of NFL games. But let's go with the opener / starter from yesterday first. Robert Gasser trying to work his way into a playoff roster. His final line from yesterday's contest, 2 2/3, 4 runs, none of them earned, however, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. Brewers walked 7 Cincinnati Reds yesterday. Unfortunately, that being a big part of it. Just 1 earned run, however, for Cincinnati. A lot of sloppy play as well. Here is Robert Gasser after his 2 innings yesterday.
Yeah, it was great. When you look at it, you get back from a long injury. It's really cool, but you show up and you don't expect, but you want to pitch well, and I feel like I was capable of more of them than I showed.
Where do you feel like you're at right now, just in terms of strength, stuff, where you want to be?
Good. Honestly, just lacking a little bit of command with the pitches. Walks and hit batters don't work well up here, so just got to iron those things out, and I think I'll be all right.
Do you feel like you put a good enough foot forward to be included in the postseason roster?
It's tough to tell. I think they have faith in me. They gave me this opportunity to be here, but whichever way they go, I understand. But yeah.
Endurance-wise, you built up and then you kind of came back. Do you feel like there was more in the tank there? Like, is that something you're looking forward to the next season, is kind of build back up and get back in that starters routine?
Yeah, for sure. if I've been a starter for a long time, and I feel like I'm at my best when I'm starting games. That's not to make any excuses about the last two. I started both those games, but yeah, it's exciting to have that kind of in my mind going forward.
There is Robert Gasser speaking after the game yesterday. That audio courtesy Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter @by Andrew Wagner. Reds now, by the way, magic number of 1. So they will be playing for their playoff lives today. If they are to win or the Mets are to lose, Cincinnati will be the last team into the postseason for the National League. So not going to roll over by any means for Milwaukee. A chance to play spoiler, even though they have clinched up the number 1 seed in the major leagues. After as well, Jacob Mizorowski speaking to reporters. I'm not sure now. I want to get this here from Todd Rosiak on Twitter, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Pat Murphy, who we'll hear a little bit in pregame sound today, spoiling this for you if you hear it again. 8 players will be in town this week to take part in the bye week preparations. Now, the roster will go back down from 28 to 26 men in the postseason. Those 8 players also going to be in town, ultimately trying to establish that 26-man roster. Craig Yoho, Easton McGee, Logan Henderson, Carlos Rodriguez. Those are the 4 pitchers. Brandon Lockridge, Jefferson Cuero, Tyler Black, Anthony Siegler, all also supposed to be in town this week, helping finalize that 26-man roster. I would be shocked with most of those names making it. I think there's a possibility of Logan Henderson and Brandon Lockridge, depending on the health even of Henderson. More to come from him later on in Building a Winner, by the way. But I still can't imagine that Jefferson Cuero, now Danny Jansen seemed to figure it out, unless obviously Contreras is more hurt than expected. Tyler Black, I don't think so. Brandon Lockridge, pinch hitter, Anthony Siegler. We're going to try that again in October. Didn't really work the last time around either. So those are the names to look at as well to try to make a final playoff spot for Milwaukee. One of them could take this next guy's spot, Jacob Mizorowski. First time coming out of the bullpen, hasn't been great as of late. He spoke a little bit afterwards as well. Here is the Miz.
Anytime you go out there, it's going to be nerve-wracking, like a situation like that. But no, nothing that I didn't expect.
Did they prepare you at all for what the situation might be, clean inning versus middle of an inning?
No, I mean, it was just you're going in the bullpen and, whatever situation arises, that's what it's going to be.
There's obviously not the same celebration that comes with winning the Central or clinching a postseason spot in general, but what is the value of being the top seed heading into the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, home field advantage is huge. I mean, it's always going to be exciting to play in front of your home crowd and, all the support they've given us over the years or over the season. It's going to be exciting.
Where do you think you fit?
Wherever they put me. So I think, I'm just excited to be here and help support and be a part of the team.
As you kind of look back on your regular season, what are some of the bigger takeaways you have from these last few months in this experience?
I think the biggest one is just, keep moving forward and, be there for the guys when around you and, they're going to be there for you. But, when it gets tough, so just keep going.
One of the things tonight, I think you had your hardest pitch in the majors. I don't know if that registered for you. Was that kind of being amped coming into a big spot?
No, I think it's more just like, not having to worry about going 6 innings and, you're 2-3. So it's a little different.
Did you feel better about the last 2 innings you put forth and keeping them off the board and feel like it give you a little bit of momentum?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's always good to put up a 0 for the boys, but it's always positive.
There is Jacob Mizorowski after the game yesterday. That audio courtesy Adam McCalvey on Twitter covering the Brewers for MLB.com. Tommy Wortz here getting you caught up. Brewers, Reds, season finale, game number 162. What a journey this was for the Milwaukee Brewers. Top record already. Chance today with an opportunity to have the most wins in a season in franchise history, and they'll be sending out their ace, Freddie Peralta. He'll be making his 33rd start of the season, second against the Reds. Last started on Monday at San Diego with the no decision in the 11-inning loss. In that game, Freddie went 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, notched another 200 strikeout season. I can't imagine Freddie Peralta will go more than probably 5 innings in this game again. Just keeping everything cautious. No need to stress the arm out before the postseason. Already sounds like the Brewers to be without Brandon Woodruff in the postseason right now. We haven't heard any official decision on that, but all signs pointing to not good news coming from that, at least in the NLDS. Now with some optimism with Jose Quintana will be healthy. Expect to see him in game 3, in my opinion. Coming up, we'll go through a parlay for the people. Betting odds courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. No Austin Herdina on Sunday, so it's my job to try to win you guys some money today, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I have created my list of the top 20 prospects I'm the most exciting for our final Building a Winner feature of the season. Thanks again to the Ironworkers Local 8 for being a part of the leadoff show. And of course, some Pat Murphy sound on the other side before today's game. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wirtz here with you live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you. Starting lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers, in case you missed it earlier in the program. Christian Yelich to DH again and lead off the ball game for the Brewers. Jackson Chourio bats second. He's in center field. Bryce Terang bats third. He's at second base. Jake Bauers in the cleanup spot playing first base. Sal Frelick in right field will bat fifth. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat sixth. Isaac Collins in left field batting seventh today. Andrew Monasterio, the shortstop, will bat eighth. Danny Jansen rounds things out. He is the catcher batting ninth.
At the wall, looking up, see you later.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan.
Betting odds courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Brewers favorites today, minus 132 on the money line. Minus 1.5 will get you plus 165. And the over-under set at 7.5 today. My whole brand with Austin Herdina, who usually joins us here, will join us once postseason play again happens. Whenever I see 7.5, I just think over for Milwaukee. They seem to always hit on that one, so I'm going to take the over in this game. I'm going to take Christian Yelich to record a hit, and I'm going to take Bryce Terang to record a hit. And remember, it always improves your odds if you bet on a player for the other team. For that one, I'm going to take Gavin Lux as well. So the over of 7.5 today, Christian Yelich, Bryce Terang, and Gavin Lux to all record a hit. That'll pay plus 475, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, if you guys want shuttles to the game, Potawatomi Sportsbook for the rest of the postseason today as well, in case you want to see some sort of action for Milwaukee in person. The Potawatomi Sportsbook will take you there. Go place a minimum $5 bet over at their sportsbook on the day of the game. They'll hook you up with a wristband. If you went today, placed a $5 wager on the parlay for the people we have created, you'd win $23.75. Gavin Lux, Bryce Terang, Christian Yelich, all recording a hit, and the over of 7.5. Great Sunday to go watch today. All the games are going to be on for Major League Baseball at 2 o'clock. Plus, on top of that, Brewers are going for a chance to win the most games in franchise history. And after this game as well, more football to watch, the NFL on all day, and of course the Packers to wrap things up at 7:20 tonight. Once that game goes final, make sure you tune into the Green Bay football post-game show. Myself, Sparky Pfeiffer, breaking down Green Bay and Dallas today. As soon as that game concludes, we'll have some post-game sound. Ryan Wood of the Green Bay Press Gazette will join us at some point in the program as well. Hopefully it is with some good news after the Packers fell last week. This week, a chance to move to 3-1 if they pick up a victory over Dallas.
Line drive, base hit, down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the Coach's Corner. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan.
Our guy Drew Wagner down at American Family Field hooking it up with Pat Murphy from pregame earlier today. Here is the manager of your Milwaukee Brewers before the final regular season game of 2025.
I want to match their competitiveness today. That's, to me, the important segment here as we wind up. I'd like to really compete and go after it.
Do you expect that of Freddie?
Yeah, I mean, we can't afford to get him in any type of lengthy outing.
Right.
That's just, it's not so much strategic as it is wise. You know,
Does that kind of, oh, I'm sorry.
Go, no.
Does that kind of work out? Because I imagine you'd want to get your relievers
Yeah.
an inning.
Yeah.
All the way down the line, probably.
Probably all the way down the line.
What about just the importance of getting, DL and Trevor and getting your eyes on kind of what their competition level is?
Right, it's important. It's just like not everybody's going to understand how we're operating right now, but we just want to match, the intensity and match the competitiveness. It's hard to do, guys. It's hard to tell you, go compete in this 5-on-5 pickup. It's going to have a ramification. You know what I mean? Really? So the athlete and the competitor does what the athlete and the competitor knows. It's hard. It's just like the decision to put Miz in a messy inning. Some people say, why would you do that? Put him in a clean inning. Give him a soft landing. What part of the playoffs is going to be a soft landing? Even if it's a clean inning, right? There's no soft landing, So I made the decision to do it that way. It could have worked out. It could have been a big upside for Miz, right? He gets the rollover ground ball, and if it wasn't a swinging bunt, we throw him out. Miz can feel great about it, and now he's accomplished something. Didn't work out that way, but either way, the outing will help him grow. That's the key. So everybody that says, "Why didn't you give him a soft landing?" They don't know a lot about baseball.
Going back to Freddie for a second, when you look at the gaudy numbers he's put up, not just this year, but the last couple, it is the most impressive just the number of starts. The guy just takes the ball every fifth day, doesn't miss time.
I don't know that it's the most impressive, but it's when you're in a winning club and in a winning environment that won 3 straight division titles, and you're at the forefront and you take the ball every time and you compete. Special. His whole package is special.
How much of matching their competitiveness is you want to see your guys play a better game going into the postseason? How much of it is just like you owe it to the game with things at stake for?
We owe it to the game?
Next question. Do you?
Like the integrity of
like how much you're doing this for, this is something that we need to do because the Mets have a game that matters.
Look at all the teams that are in the playoff hunt. Like the leading teams, the teams that have won their divisions or have had a lead in the divisions. Which one of those have played well? Which one of those teams that had a lead? Zero, right? All those big teams with 3 times the budget we have and all that, 3 times the resources and depth and all that kind of stuff. Which team has played well? None of them. In terms of as well as they've played to get here.
Yeah.
Because authentically, you can't recreate meaningful games. Now, the habit of playing well, I think, is what you're searching for.
Sure.
Like the habits of playing well, we haven't been consistently playing well. That's what I'm looking for. It's important. Owe it to the game, owe it to yourself, owe it to the fans. Yeah, maybe.
Mariners. Are they the closest?
They are
playing well.
But they didn't have the big leads.
Right, they had to get
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, you're talking about Toronto, LA,
Philly,
Philly,
Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah. We sometimes see things.
I think
through our
yeah,
lens.
of course. But we're all when you're up in a division. I'm getting phone calls from the Cubs staff saying, "We're going to catch you. We're going to catch you." We're all kind of like running and looking behind. You know what I mean? It's until you're in that situation, you're looking behind. So show up whenever you want, Lev. Doesn't matter.
Bob says hi.
I'll tell him. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so until you're in that situation,
Yeah.
it's a hard spot. It's another kind of thing to consider. It's a hard spot. What Detroit went through, I hurt for them. And I'm not super. I love Stephen Vogt. AJ Hinch is a great friend, but like I hurt for teams, the players that are dealing with all that trepidation of hanging on. You know, it was ecstatic that they got in. Just personally, you know what I mean? Like I'm so glad for those players who earned so much that now they get a chance at the postseason. And I'm so glad for Stephen Vogt for the team that made a run the way they did. You know, that sounds really altruistic, right? You know?
I think it's very kind of you.
Did you see how they got? I'm sure you did. How they got in? The hit by pitch.
Yeah.
We
They
looked and
intentionally
wondered if
walked
it
the
like
guy before him.
we looked to see if it grazed his arm or something. And then we watched it. It was like, oh my god, that's a hit by pitch.
Murph, as you're kind of mapping out the week, how much have you
Mike,
talked-
I'm trying to concentrate and you're having side conversations. Oh, so you're blaming someone else.
Wow.
I want to know what altruistic means.
Altruistic? Is that a word?
You said it.
You just used it. Yes.
What is it?
I don't know what it means.
Isn't it just charitable?
I just said I don't know what
Altruistic. It's
like
Is
positive,
that a word?
like
All
kindness to
positive.
all
thinking
kind,
of
all
others before
forward, all
yourself.
thinking of others. Yeah.
Is it a word? Because I
Yes,
often
it's a word. It's a great word.
Rock. I often
not
use
that
words that
obscure.
aren't
It was
words.
impressive though. I didn't know what it meant. So
Showing a selfless concern for the well-being of others without care for one's own interests.
You being altruistic about
Okay, well,
the
the last
Tigers
part.
and the Guardians and about the teams and the players.
Without the last part.
Murph, can you give us a hint of how you might use
Hint.
McGill today, or where?
Yeah, I'll use McGill probably in the middle of an inning. Probably in the middle of the game.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? It's time for Building a Winner. Ironworkers Local 8 brings you Building a Winner. Skip the debt. Learn a trade. Apply now at iwl8.org. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM. The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature presented by Iron Workers Local 8. Thanks again to Iron Workers Local 8 for being a part of the leadoff show all season long. Regular season wraps up today for the Brewers. And I said for our final Building a Winner feature, I'm going to give you the 20 prospects I am the most excited about for the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, I will say this. I cheated a little bit for the baseline. I believe that some prospects are, are they really? We've seen Tyler Black, right? And I'm not putting Tyler Black in my top 20. But for my number 20 prospect, we have seen him before, and that's where I'm going to put Craig Yoho. I think he's got potential to be in this relief role for Milwaukee. I don't know if I buy into closer type mentality from him, but maybe a 7th inning guy, maybe a 6th inning guy. That's where I see Craig Yoho. I don't know if I trust him yet in the leverage relief roles in late parts of games, especially if McGill's gone, then it'll be Uribe, and then that's going into natural motion for the Brewers. But I have Craig Yoho at 20. I was very much considering putting Matthew Wood here. I think he had a fine season in Double-A. Big part of the success for Biloxi this year. But I went with Craig Yoho, and that's the baseline of where I get excited. Mike Bovee, I put at 19, had some injury concerns. He's a little bit older. He's 23. But I'm not ready to give up on the Mike Bovee hype. A lot of people got off of him this year, fell big time. Maybe at the beginning of the year, he's a top 10 guy. I put him at 19 on this list. Brady Abel, the Brewers comp pick from this year, technically a first rounder. Very young, another shortstop, middle infield, could play third base, maybe kind of guy. But there's a lot of those guys in this Brewers farm system right now. Bryce Message, I like what he can do as a pitching prospect. I don't know if he's one of the more exciting ones I have on the list. There's a few more that I think are above him, but I wanted to get him involved in this top 20. He's number 17. Eric Batanti. That's a name that I think could progress as well. Probably a few years away still from the big league level, but first base and pop, Batanti has a little bit of it. And I think that it could be a part where the Brewers are perfectly wrapping up at first base of what they have of major league control, and Batanti will be competitive for that spot. But there are guys above him, I think, that are going to get a chance first. At 15, Tyson Harden. He was unreal this year pitching for the Brewers. I think that having him at 15 is perfect. He's 23, so he's a little bit older, but a great year in 2025 in which he had a 2.34 ERA in high A and a 3.29 ERA in double A this year. That's the 15th player on this list. Blake Burke, I think what we saw out of him in this back end in double A is worthy of being in the top 15. I like Brock Wilken at 13. I think he's going to get a shot to make the big league club, putting them next to each other, kind of on equal levels of excitement. I paired these next two, Luis Lara, Braylon Payne, next to each other at 12 and 11. I think that they're just Brewer ball. Put the ball in play, show off some speed. Maybe Braylon Payne has a little bit more pop, but I think that ultimately the quicker path to the majors comes from those two just playing their style of speed baseball. Luke Adams, I have at 10. I think putting him in the top 10 is necessary because he can play first and third, but I guess he's the most exciting prospect from the first base, third base guys. I like Luke Adams, Brock Wilken, Blake Burke, almost like equally the same. Adams on the defensive side a little more. Marco Dingus at 9, phenomenal year from him. Bishop Letson, once we see more out of him, I think he's going to be higher on this list. I put Josh Adamczewski at 7. Kid just hit every level he was at this year. He just hit at every level, and he's going to be a guy competing for a middle infield spot later on too. I have Cuero at 6, obviously the next man to make his debut on this list, it seems like. Cooper Pratt at 5, just a victim of the other top end talent at the same position, it feels like, in the Brewers farm. Andrew Fisher I have at 4. So that's why I have Adams a little lower, is because I'm a little more excited about Fisher playing first and third, especially swinging left-handed too. Logan Henderson I have at 3. Again, kind of cheating. We've seen him already, but I really do think Logan Henderson is going to be an awesome second, third guy in a rotation this year, in the future for Milwaukee, and you'll see that starting next year. And then your top 2 guys, Jesus Mate, number 1, Luis Pena, number 2. I wanted to put Pena 1, but Mate tearing it up at Double A at the back end of the season was just awesome to see, and you have to give him top in the organization. So 1 through 20, one more time: Jesus Mate, Luis Pena, Logan Henderson, Andrew Fisher, Cooper Pratt. That's the top 5. 6 through 10, Jefferson Cuero, Josh Adamczewski, Bishop Letson, Marco Dingus, Luke Adams, Braylon Payne, Luis Lara are 11 and 12, Brock Wilken, Blake Burke 13, 14, Tyson Harden rounds it out at 15, Eric Batanti at 16, Bryce Message at 17, Brady Abel 18, Mike Bovey 19, Craig Yoho 20, just to get a baseline of what we have seen already so far and the people I am excited for above him. This Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. Let's get to Drew Wagner after this. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 up in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM The Fan. Inside the Clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Join their fall mini camps at focusbaseball.com.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, live from the 1250 AM, 1057 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Lineups one more time, presented by Lakeland University, lakeland.edu. Experience it your way. Christian Yelich leading things off at the DH spot. Jackson Churio in center field will bat second. Bryce Terang at second base will bat third. Jake Bauers in the fourth spot today is the first baseman. Sal Frelick in right field will bat fifth. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat sixth. Isaac Collins in left field bats seventh today. Andrew Monasterio, the shortstop, will bat eighth. Danny Jansen rounds things out. He will bat ninth for the crew. And joining us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. You can follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. Follow his work at Forbes Sports and at the Fan Milwaukee. It is Drew Wagner joining us now here. Uncle Drew, last day of the regular season. How's it going down there, my friend?
The vibes are decidedly replacement level.
Yeah, I mean, it feels
What
like
I did there. I made it baseball-y.
I like it. Yeah, the wins above replacement are negative right now on the vibes at American Family Field. It's been a rough week right now, Drew, and it feels like there was some good news with some activation on the pitching side of things. DL Hall and Trevor McGill back for the crew today. That feels like some good news for Milwaukee.
I mean, it is, but we have to see them in a game before we can say one way or another. Let's face it, McGill is still a question mark. He went out and he did throw his usual routine 3-game today and seemed to have no issue with it. But you don't know until you know. I don't think we're going to see him at full strength today. I think we might just see him briefly for a couple of batters just to get him some action and to get some data. But I don't think we're going to have a clear picture of McGill until sometime during this bye week.
And what about then for DL Hall, the other man activated as well? Do you assume that he's got a little more full go with him, or a similar approach with Hall?
Yeah, I think he's more full go. But I also listen. We're going to see a lot of relievers today.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we're basically going to see Freddie go through the order once. And then it's just going to be a cavalcade of relievers to get everyone a little bit of work before they go into that layoff. And you know what? You may not see guys throwing at full speed today. You may not see them going full bore. They're going to try and be competitive. Murph talked about that in pregame. They're going to go in there with intensity and competitiveness, but at the same time, they are being cautious. They don't want to risk a guy trying to go full out and popping an elbow in what is basically a meaningless game.
Right.
So you're going to be towing that fine line with everybody today.
Drew Wagner joining us here from Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. Drew, read this from Todd Rosiak on Twitter. Pat Murphy mentioning it as well. Craig Yoho, East McGee, Logan Henderson, Carlos Rodriguez among pitchers that will be in town this week to take part in the bye week preparations. Brandon Lockridge, Jefferson Cuero, Tyler Black, Anthony Siegler. Drew, it is a 26-man roster for the postseason, but they don't have any restrictions on positions necessarily, right? Do you know how that works?
We're trying to figure that out. They do have limitations on like how many pitchers you can carry.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry that many, but there is a limit. So you can do some creative things. You can mix and match a little bit, but as far as the actual limitations, I've been meaning to look up on all that, and I'll probably have that in the story tomorrow or Tuesday.
Well, and I think you can have. I think you just don't need the 13, right? Like that's the number. Like you can carry up to it, but you don't need to quite have all 13 a part of it. And yesterday we saw some performances again. Jacob Mizorowski unable to finish out his. He gets the swinging bunt. His status for the playoff roster feels very much in jeopardy now, Drew.
Yeah, it's looking that way. They're not ready to slam the door, but listen, yesterday was not what you wanted to see. But I do understand, I saw a lot of people throwing on Twitter about why you're bringing him in that situation, not giving him a clean inning. And Murph made the point, you know what? There's no such thing as a clean inning in the playoffs. And if we're going to use you in the postseason, we need to be able to bring you in with runners on if need be, if the situation warrants it. Can you handle that? We didn't see it yesterday. Where this leaves them, they haven't made a decision yet. It's something they're going to discuss this week. It's one of the big questions that they have, maybe the biggest.
One more question for you before I let you go. Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. Danny Jansen's been playing well, and it seems like it's just been keep him hot and give some rest to William. Is that clarified that William likely to just take this entire week to rest up, and he will be ready for postseason play? But Cuero coming into town, too, makes you wonder if there's any speculation on Contreras' health as well.
Well, I mean, listen, these guys are here because, remember, the minor league season is over.
Right.
And if something does happen during the playoffs, we can't bring a guy, as Murph likes to say, out of the coolers.
Yeah.
So you're having guys here to work out, and you need an emergency catcher, whether Contreras was 100% healthy or not. You always have to be prepared. So it's no surprise that Caro is up here. It doesn't have anything to do with Contreras' situation. As for Contreras, I mean, they could use him if they need him, but that guy has taken a beating this year.
Yeah.
Never mind what happened in St. Louis and the check swing. Like, the guy's taking a beating. Give him a breather. Get him back to as close to healthy as possible, because we've seen what's happened now the last couple of weeks when he was finally past the effects of that finger and swinging the bat the way that we know that he can.
Makes sense to me. Drew, enjoy the last day of the regular season. I'll talk to you again later, my friend.
Yeah, last omelet bar of the year. It was very sad.
Oh, yes. We got more of them to come up. We got more in the future for sure. Thanks, Drew.
All right, buddy.
There he is, Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all.
How does the Crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Last keys to the game of the regular season. Quite frankly, just everyone stay healthy. Don't need anything like that to really mess up plans for the Brewers in the postseason. They get the week off. Let's not go too crazy. Leave everyone in one piece before some more meaningful baseball to come. That's going to do it for us here at The Fan. Make sure you guys are checking out all your favorite local programming. The new lineup, second week of it, again tomorrow, 6 to 9, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, 9 to noon with Kuhn, Rami Makloff, John Kuhn, Brandon Snide producing that program. Of course, then it is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. That's from noon to 2 now here at The Fan. We have Wisconsin Sports Daily from 2 to 5. That is served up by Wendy's with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Charlie Usen joining him each and every show. And the Fan Post-Game Show from 5 to 6, where I get to react to everything said earlier on that day. Last regular season game of the year, Brewers-Reds, Freddie Peralta, Brady Singer, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan Studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, send them home.